Hi and welcome along to the All Guns Blazing podcast. DT's in the building with me. We are here. We are happy today because it's coming home. Yeah? It's coming home?
One more.
It's coming home. It's coming home.
Stop singing.
It's coming. Football's coming. No?
One more game. One more game.
It's coming home, man. It's coming up. We were both at the game. And I've got to say, I don't know what your experience was like, right? I know you was with the, prawn sandwich brigade sat in the... but for me, being in the stands, I have to say that's one of the best atmospheres I have ever witnessed at a football game. I was at the semi-final in Russia, and that was crazy, right? Because I remember like when we scored first, I remember that was limbs. But I think the experience at Wembley was better because it was a whole stadium.
Yeah.
Apart from I think it was about 8,000 Denmark fans. Mm-hmm. It was from start to finish. It was electric. I think it was a combination of not just the fact that England were in the semi-final and got a chance to go to the final for the first time for 55 years, and that was in England, but also the fact that we've been in this lockdown for so long. I mean, for me, it was just nice to be around fans and so many fans.
I know.
And no restrictions, just going absolutely mental, and it was brilliant. And our boy Saka turned up as well.
Yeah.
With an assist for the first goal. It was an own goal, but he's the one that made it happen. Proud to see an Arsenal player in there as well. It was wonderful. I mean, what was it like for you?
Like, even where I was sitting, the atmosphere was insane. It didn't matter. It's like being a prawn sandwich area or what. It was mad. And like you said, I've never experienced...
The servants were jumping up and down as well whilst I was serving you your food and that, yeah?
Mate, food was going flying. 3-course meal everywhere.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It was a nice 3-course meal and all that, you know what I mean?
Well, you hit the patio window when you was jumping up and down?
No.
Watching it from inside?
No. Not watching it inside. Well, I'm watching it from inside. So it was, mate, just like, we've been very fortunate to go to Wembley a lot of times. Despite the banter of Arsenal, we've actually been at Wembley a hell of a lot and experienced very good times at Wembley. Yeah. But it's half a stadium. So even though it's unbelievable, it's half a stadium.
Yeah, because it's like half Arsenal, half Chelsea as it was the last time we were there.
But that was 90% a full stadium of just England fans. And it just felt like every area you looked, there was just emotion. There was just like joy, agony, like every expression and every emotion that you could think of, everybody went through in 120 minutes. You know, when Denmark took the lead, you're instantly going, here we go again. Oh, why is it always us? Why do we always fail at the last hurdle? But the resilience in this team, you've got to give them credit.
Who got us back in the game?
Look, listen, I'll go as far as saying that the ball by Harry Kane to Saka was unbelievable. And then Saka puts it in the danger area.
Yep.
And then, we get that. And after about 10-15 minutes of the second half, I was like, Denmark are done. Their legs are gone. They were dropping cramp and injuries, and I was like, I don't know whether they've been riding on emotion for so long that it's finally caught up with them now, and they just looked out on their feet. And if you would have offered them penalties right then,
well, they were going for penalties.
Yeah, but I mean, after the 60th minute, if you'd have said take penalties now, they'd be like, thanks, I'll take that. And the one thing we didn't want was penalties, because I actually think we would have probably lost.
Yeah, because Schmeichel was unreal, wasn't
he? The thing is about him as well is that what you've got to remember is that he's a Premier League player. Premier
League player, had been at Wembley recently with Leicester and was brilliant in that game, probably the man of the match. And in this game, the save that he pulled off from Maguire,
oh mate,
it was unreal.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about the referee.
Was it a penalty?
Yeah, it was. Now I've looked at it again. Sterling got clipped on his right knee.
I felt he got clipped. It's one of those ones that if it gets given against you, you're like, nah, man, no penalty. It's too soft.
You try running. But then
we see those
at that speed.
We see those get given all the time, don't we?
You do. You see it all the time.
Yeah.
And look, at the end of the day, when you're running at that speed, and you get a knock, and it puts. Look, listen. What? Why are people moaning when Frank Lampard scored against Germany and it went miles over the line and it wasn't given? Where's the outcry? You know, if social media was around in '86, would anyone have any sympathy for us with Maradona?
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? It happens.
66 did our goal even cross the line?
Exactly. You know, and at the end of the day, this is what happens when it goes against you. You feel aggrieved, and when it goes for you, you feel like, oh well, it's kind of. But I've looked at it from the reverse angle, and he gets clipped on his right knee.
When I looked at the angles, it looks like he gets clipped. But
he gets clipped on his right knee.
I think it's one of those decisions where, you know, it could go either way.
Yeah, it could.
I don't think it's a clear cut. Nah, definitely not a penalty. I think it's one of those that one referee gives it, and another referee doesn't. Waves it off, and you know,
and Peter Walton agrees with whatever it was.
You know, and listen, it was fantastic. It was just great to be around so many different fans. I met so many different fans of so many different clubs. I met these very cheeky Villa fans who kept going saying to me, so Smith Rowe, what do you want from him, and all this sort of stuff. Imagine we're getting bantered up by Villa fans. We took Buendia. I know you lot are shook about that, but we are coming. There's one guy's going, we are coming back for Smith Rowe, Robbie. I'll just to let you know, we'll be back. We'll be back. I go, what's your name? Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's going, we're back. We'll be back. We'll be back. I'll tell you, this is where we're at.
It is what it is, and it's like.
But it was great banter.
It was good seeing so many different, you know, fans from. And what I noticed. Look, listen, I'm not. I got a way of saying things about certain clubs and stuff like that, so I was a bit like, I wonder how they're gonna be around me. But do you know what? I'll tell you something. I met so many fans, and the amount from, you know, even clubs that I've ripped. I even have Tottenham fans. I had
loads of Tottenham fans,
and they're fine,
and they're all right. They're like Robbie, it's a truce on. I was like,
because it's
truce is on.
Like, don't get me wrong, if we'd have lost, maybe it might have been a different story. But
Harry Kane, who never, ever, ever, ever misses a penalty against us anyway.
Yeah, well,
every time he takes a penalty against us, he may as well just like
that penalty,
look to the centre circle. He goes and misses a penalty, even though he got the rebound.
Yeah, that penalty there is exactly what nerves does you.
Yeah,
because Harry Kane has a particular way of taking a penalty, and he does like this little stutter.
Yeah.
And then 9 times out of 10, he always whips it. And it doesn't matter what.
It's a side netting.
Keep and go that way.
Inside side netting. Yeah.
But his run up was different. And then, obviously, I didn't see it at the time, but when I've watched the replay back, like, you can see him, like, when he's, like, breathing out, like, and he's like,
nervous tension.
And then there's a second, like, normally you get a player that just has one and then they're ready, but there was one, then there was two. You could tell, and it's just like, even for a player that just could probably take penalties in his sleep, nerves. You literally have the whole country watching you, like. And look, listen, I'm not trying to do this for banter, but he don't have any pressure at Tottenham. There's not an expectation. They're not expected to win trophies. So there's not really any major pressure. But with England, Wembley, semi-finals, never been to a European Championship final, haven't been to a major tournament final since '66. The whole country is watching. From the Queen to, like, do you know what I mean? Like, literally everybody's watching. And it's like, that's on you, your shoulders. Are you going to be the hero, or are you going to be the villain?
Do you realise, right, if we win that game Sunday, it could be Sir Bukayo Saka.
It could be Sir all of them. It could be
I remember when England won the cricket, innit, they got there was a load of knighthoods given out and stuff like that but it would be a fantastic achievement. And as I said, I've been so proud of watching Saka play. You know, as a kid, what's he, 19, 20.
19, man.
And what he's doing and the trust that has been put into him by the manager. I mean, he's starting ahead of Rashford. He's starting ahead of Foden. Sancho. These are great players that he's starting ahead of. And the manager's saying, well, you know what? They're all playing at the moment for clubs that are doing better things than us. And the manager's saying, no, you know what? It's I trust you. I trust you to come up with the goods. And he did.
Yeah.
And it's literally every game he's played in, he's come up with the goods.
Yeah, every time.
You know, I was there and I'm like, we need somebody to start running up players. And he was sort of that first guy to start doing that, taking people on. He's brave, he's strong, he's an unbelievable player. We've got ourselves. Imagine if thank God, we've tied him down to a long-term contract, because you imagine how much he's worth now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
How much is he worth? He must be. You know, you're talking about. You know, with you factor in his age and everything. He's a 70, 80 million pound player.
More,
right? And I'm telling you what.
I'm sorry, but
if we don't next season, if we don't start getting our act together, you will see your Man Cities and those sort of teams coming and looking at him next season, because he doesn't look like a player who's going to drop off.
No,
only injuries can curtail a guy like that. He's not going to drop off. And he's got the added incentive of playing well and getting into the squad for the World Cup in 2022.
Yeah.
So it's been amazing.
It's crazy.
Trust me, I'm in awe of watching this youngster play.
He's in with a shout of playing, and he should be playing on Sunday. He should be starting.
I think he should start the final.
I think he will, to be fair.
Yeah, I think he will as well, because I think what it is with him, as I said, he's trusted, and Southgate knows he can do it at the top part of the pitch. He knows that probably he might blow out and he can take him off, because that's the thing. Obviously, tournament football's about your squad, and we've got a great squad. And he knows that in the early parts of the game as well, Saka will do the ugly side of the game as well. He works so hard off the ball.
Yeah.
And I think that's what gives him the advantage over a Sancho, over a Rashford, over a Foden, is that he does the ugly side of the game as well. There was that game a couple of games ago where he got back and won that tackle on the edge of the box. He was phenomenal. And well done to him, well done to England. And I got a good feeling about Sunday. I think I watched Italy play the other night. I think Italy, they've been another team that have been absolutely amazing in this tournament. They've played probably the best football, or amongst the best football in it. They've scored great goals. But I felt Spain should really have won that game.
They should have.
I thought Spain were a better team.
Yep.
The way Spain kept the ball in that, and the fact that that Olmo missed a couple of easy chances. Morata, I really think that Italy got away with that.
I think
so. It's going to be a very close game. I don't. People who are just thinking, you're going to come up against Italy. I think we've got a chance.
Yeah, I think Spain exposed Italy. I think they found their weaknesses. And yes, you do have to have a team like Spain that can keep and hold the ball in the way that they did. But I felt that they pressed them high. What they did was there was always one Italian player being allowed the ball, and Spain made sure it was the weakest player within the Italian team that just couldn't do anything. And I was shocked when they went 1-0 down. I was like, how on earth has this happened?
Yeah. It's against the run of play.
Yeah, and then, you got to remember, I think it was a Spain corner. And it literally, Donnarumma threw it straight out, and they broke 3 passes, boom, goal. Naivety, too many players forwards, whatever it might be. But I felt, Spain responded instantly, should have scored. How he missed that header, just has to get anything on it, and it's in.
So many chances.
And then the goal for Morata, that was just a superb goal.
Yeah.
And then it just went to the penalties, and
Spain's penalties were terrible, but it's a lottery at that time. But I just feel that, they've showed England that, even though Italy, they've got this fantastic unbeaten.
What did I say to you last time,
unbeaten or something like that.
I said to you last time, and I said this, I think it was last week's podcast, and I said that, or I don't know, it might not even been on a podcast. I think I might have just been talking to you, but I said that I would rather play Italy than I would a Belgium or a France. Because I think that their style of play and the way that they can attack and the pace could actually undo us.
Although Italy do attack, counter-attack
yes, I do,
with pace.
but they play. But what I mean is Belgium and France are very direct, whereas Italy are counter-attack, and I think that England are very suited to counter-attack football.
Yeah, I think England would have had more problems against Spain. The way Spain keep the ball possession, I think that would have given us. But I've got to say, man, we've got a chance. I think it's a 50-50 game. I really do. You know what I mean?
It's a final,
probably
man.
give a bit of advantage to England because it's been played at Wembley, and the atmosphere it's going to be like the other night. Yeah, it's going to be mental. You know what I mean? So
you've got to say it's advantage England because it's at Wembley, and you're going to have the majority of the fans there. I know that there's a lot of Italians in London and whatever, but
loads.
Listen, at the end of the day, we've got to do what we've got to do. So, for me personally, until Sunday at least, no pizza, no pasta. I'm all in, man. I'm being serious, Robbie. I don't want to see you like... No, nothing. No, absolutely nothing Italian, all right? You're
going to park up your Ferrari?
Hey, the Ferrari gets like parked up until Sunday at least, but it's none of that, man. There ain't, it's fish and chips and all of that until Sunday, mate. Do you know what I mean? So... pie and mash.
I know one thing. Our food definitely ain't as good as theirs. That's for sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but listen, we've got to look, man.
And do you know what? Let's put some respect on Gareth Southgate's name.
Listen,
because that's back to back. You got to back semi-final, 3 semi-finals. Was in the Nations League as well. You got there.
I don't really count that.
No, but he's still a competition.
It's rubbish.
Right? And now he's in a final.
But it's the World Cup and the Euros. They're the 2 big competitions. And
but you've
the
got
Nations thing, no.
Yeah, but he's still there.
I get that. But I'm saying, I, for one, am one of these that I have to apologise and say, like, wow. All right, don't get me wrong. Like, now I've actually been to watch England live as well and see it at first hand. Like, don't get me wrong, the football's not pretty. It's not the best football.
It's tournament football.
But it's effective.
It's tournament football. In tournaments...
And we're very good at it.
Yeah, when you play in tournaments, you have to have a very good defence. Yeah, so if you look at it, Italy, great defence. Right, Chiellini, Bonucci, those guys, great defence, great goalkeeper. They've not conceded many goals in the tournament, and they've scored goals, and they've been clinical up front. England's the same. Great defence. They've only conceded 1 goal, which is from a set piece.
Still think he should have saved it.
And that's the weak link, Pickford, for me in the team. But that's another matter. But Southgate has built that team to win tournaments, and to win tournaments, if you go through tournaments without conceding many goals, you're going to get very far in the tournament. So he's built it in a specific way. And do you know what? When you look at Gareth Southgate, and like you just said, you're saying, I have to apologise to him. And there's been many, many people on various different platforms and media outlets and newspapers and that have a go at him, say he's not good enough, we should have bigger names, stuff like that. Do you see little parallels with Arteta? Right? No, I'm being serious now, right? It's like, we're all looking on it and we're saying, because similar sort of ages and all that, young manager, very, very distinct ideas of how he wants to do things. We don't always agree with them, right, with those ideas that they're doing. But you know what? The patience has been shown in Gareth Southgate, because remember, we got beat by Iceland. Yeah? Right? From there to where we are now, a lot of patience has been showed of him. Even before the tournament, I heard a lot of people going mad because the FA and that were saying, regardless of what happens in this tournament, they're going to give him the job to lead us into Qatar 2022 for the World Cup. And people are like, how can that be? It's ridiculous, but right? And we've gone through all these big managers over the years for England, and it ain't worked out. Sven-Göran Eriksson, Capello, and it hasn't worked out. And I was thinking about it the other day, and I'm like, thinking about it yesterday, I'm looking at the parallels with Arsenal. It's like, went for big names, hasn't worked out, in Unai Emery, or bigger name in Unai Emery and that. We've gone for somebody out of the blue, really. Young manager, giving him a chance. That manager, as I said, Arteta's got his very distinct ways how he wants to do stuff. It's not worked out yet. He has won a trophy, but it's not worked out yet, and we're getting very frustrated with him, and we're wondering and saying to ourselves, is this guy really the one? But is the whole Gareth Southgate thing showing us as Arsenal fans that maybe we need to have patience with Arteta, and it could be a similar thing where we reap the rewards going forward?
Could be. We'll find out, though, won't we? And look,
do you see parallels?
I get what you're saying, because it kind of splits opinion in that respect. Gareth Southgate does split opinion, and Arteta splits opinion. But
Southgate was never that big name, innit? Even from day one when he come in, everyone's like, Southgate.
Yeah, I know.
Get out of here, man. Southgate. And then he didn't do well to begin with, and you're thinking, look, he's over, you know what I mean? This job's too big for him. And now look what he's gone on to achieve, and look at the team spirit and everything like that. When you compare in the past, the big names we've had at England, Capello.
Yeah.
When we got Sven-Goran Eriksson at the time.
Boran.
Right? Borat. But when we got Eriksson at that time, he was like a huge name, wasn't he?
Yeah, I agree with
you. And it didn't work out. It didn't work out with these guys, right?
And you got to remember as well, the players that they had then weren't probably a better generation of talent than
on
what
paper.
We've got
you
now,
could say, you had Lampard, Scholes, Gerrard,
Rooney.
Beckham, Rooney, right?
Yeah, you should have been winning something with that.
But you see, the thing is, these big names just shoehorn them all in. Whereas you look at the team now, it's a team. It's a team, and he gives players a chance. He's like Calvin Phillips. I don't think Calvin Phillips would be playing under some of them older managers, because he's not a big enough name at a big enough club. So I don't think he would have been playing. I don't think Saka would have been nowhere near the team. I don't think. I think Foden might not have got a shout. I don't think.
Maybe not even Declan Rice.
Declan Rice might not have got a shout. You know what I mean? Whereas these guys have been regulars. You know, and as I said, we don't always agree with decisions. He's been. For instance, he's not starting Grealish, right? He hasn't started Grealish all along the tournament. Everyone's why didn't he start Grealish? We're all losing it about that, yeah? Me included. I'm not going to try to be wise after the event. But he's been right, because he's got the results. And then I'm looking at him like Arsenal. Well, why didn't you start Martinelli? Why didn't you start this man? Why is Pepe not starting? Do we have to... Is this like a sort of showing us that sometimes we need to have a bit more trust in a manager? We need to trust our manager a little bit more.
Does it mean it's showing you, not us?
No, you as well. What do you mean showing us?
Hold on a minute.
You as well.
Hold on a minute.
You as well.
Wait a minute.
You as well.
I'm not the one that sits there and says, why is he not playing Martinelli? Why is he not playing...
Yes, you do.
No, I do not.
Yes, you do.
There's
multiple streams from last year where you ain't moaned about players starting.
Hold on a minute. I've sat there multiple times and said to you, we done a show only a couple of weeks ago where you was questioning about the youngsters.
That's true.
And I said, Martinelli will get his opportunity. Arsenal are very cautious over...
No, you did say that. You did. You did.
Yes, there are certain games where I might go...
But I'm saying, but you've also moaned a lot about other players not starting. So you've moaned a lot about Pepe not starting. You've moaned a lot about... We've all done it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is... but I can moan about the odd game where I think a player might play. Yeah. But what I'm saying is that I get the bigger picture.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying for a minute that Arteta's right in these decisions. I still think he should be playing Martinelli. But I'm just saying that, is it just like when you sort of see the Southgate thing, you're thinking to yourself, maybe we should have a bit more patience with the manager and give him his chance to do his thing. Although you don't get that patience in the Premier League.
Yeah, you don't. That's the only issue, is that you don't get that patience. And it's a results business at the end of the day. And if you're not getting the results, then you're out the door. And I think Mikel knows all too well that this season, results have got to start from game one. It's that simple. Because if we go to October and we're in a similar kind of position that we were last season, he won't last till Christmas. Facts. I know that. Everyone knows that.
I guess, listen, you make big decisions as a manager and you live and die on them. And he has a lot of patience has been shown in him by the board, probably more so than the fans. He is going to have to deliver. I mean, you know what? Talking of decisions, right? So, again, here's another one. The other night, I don't know if you saw the Copa America. So the Copa America final is going to be Argentina versus Brazil. Another great final. That's going to be two heavyweights. Did you see Emi Martinez in that penalty shootout against Colombia? And throughout that tournament, there's a lot of talk, people saying that he's one of the best goalkeepers in the world now. Emi Martinez. That's who we let go.
I know.
Right?
But at the same time, you say let go, but...
Let go. There was a choice, him or Leno. And then what makes it skewed now, right? Is that apparently now they're looking for a new goalkeeper.
It's wrong what you're saying there. It's wrong. You need to get it actually factually right, because what happened was, and I agree with Mikel on this, is that he couldn't guarantee that he would be number one.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
He said to Emi
Leno or Martinez.
No, because listen, goalkeepers have to work and fight for their place, etc., etc. Now, we had two quality goalkeepers. One who got injured, and if he'd never got injured, we wouldn't have even bat an eyelid over selling Emi Martinez, because he was at the club for 9 years previous to that, and nobody even cared. All right, so he came in, done exceptionally well.
Won the FA Cup with him.
Won the FA Cup.
Brilliant.
But Mikel wasn't willing to turn around and say to either of them, "You're my number one."
No, but he
right?
didn't even say. He didn't.
Can you let me speak, man? Can you let me speak? Relax.
You've got this from Arteta, haven't you?
Listen, I'm tired today. Yeah, don't stress me out.
You're always tired.
I'm always tired. Now, he said, he put me off my train of thought, man. Now, he wouldn't tell either of them that you're my number one. Now, Emi then took that and said, all right, well, I want to move somewhere else then. And Mikel respectfully turned around and said, okay, because you got to remember...
He'll take the money.
No, he never took the money. He just turned around and... Because Emi Martinez himself has even said, and people within the club have even said, that Mikel was respectful for his time at the club. Also, you've got to remember they were players together at the club as well. And he said, as a friend, if that's the decision you want to make and you want to leave, I'm respectfully not going to stand in your way, and I will help you.
Because, we'll get a 20 million for you. Whereas what he could have said, he could also have said, you know what, you've got the number one spot at the moment. You've been brilliant. You've won us a trophy. You haven't put a foot wrong. You're number one for now. You are the number one at the moment. Leno's going to have to fight to get that number one spot back, as a lot of fans at the time were saying that they felt that Emi should be the number one because he'd earned it, right? But he didn't. He let Emi Martinez go. And then now we're seeing this season that they might let Leno go, and they're looking at Aaron Ramsdale.
Yeah, well,
again, it just shows to be a lot of... It's a mess. We brought in Runarsson as number two after Emi Martinez left, right? Now we're sending Runarsson on loan to Turkey. Right, and so so loan with an option to buy, or loan, or you can just have him.
Yeah.
After we paid what was we paid for him? 5 million, 40 grand a week. These are decisions that have been made, right? And when I see Emi Martinez playing like how he's playing last season, player of the season for Villa, considered to be one of the best goalkeepers in the league. Gone to the Copa America, you got Messi hugging him up and saying this guy is one of the best keepers around in the world, and we let him go.
Win some, you lose some.
Yeah, we lose a lot.
Yeah, what do you want me to say? What do you want me to
some,
say?
we lose. We're always losing.
But I don't think it's as clear cut.
No, it's quite clear cut.
No,
the guy had the number one spot.
No, it's clear cut in your head.
He had the number one spot.
He wasn't. Look,
with the goalkeepers, you've got the number one spot.
He wasn't willing to stay and fight and stick it out.
No,
because all of the words, right? When we won the FA Cup, we heard all of the words. We see all the tears about don't care what I'm offered or this, that, the other. We see it all. We see it all.
He had the number one spot.
We see it all, Robbie. All the tears and everything. I don't care what they offer. I want to sign. I'm staying here. I love the club.
There you go.
You was then told that you can't guarantee that you'll be number one. And he was.
How do you know that? How do you know those are the exact words, right? You're as you said, you heard what he said. You was quoting Arteta earlier, right? You heard what he said. I want to stay, no money, I want to, right? We accepted an offer for like 20 million quid for him. He's gone, right? And now the guy is like one of the best goalkeepers in the world.
He is.
And we're now, and then as I said, to make things worse with us at the moment, when you look at what's going on, it looks like we're looking to move Leno out and bring in Aaron Ramsdale. And as I said, and the number 2 that we bought in to replace Emi Martinez, right, is terrible.
I know. Look, listen, it is what it is at the end of the day. I don't know what more I can say on it at the end of the day.
There's nothing you can say because this is there to obviously what people are seeing it in front of their eyes. We made a big mistake.
It is what it is now, isn't it? It's no point crying over spilt milk. I spoke to Emi last season after Villa beat us at Emirates. He thinks he's funny as well. You know what he sent me. Then I said to him, he thinks he's funny. He's a joker, but listen, there's no hard feelings on my behalf or anything like that. And it's...
Look, I think we got it wrong.
Look, listen, at the end of the day, it happens, man. You know, we got Serge Gnabry wrong.
We get a lot wrong.
But the Serge Gnabry one...
Is Guendouzi another one?
But the Serge Gnabry one, this was a guy at the time who couldn't even succeed at West Brom. So nobody expected him to go and be the player that he ended up going on to be, etc. Like, you never know, man.
Right.
Well, no, because Bayern Munich were not the ones that bought him.
Well, Wolfsburg is.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is, they took the chance with him.
What about Guendouzi? Could that be another one? Is that going to be another one that we get horribly wrong? Now he's gone more or less, loan with the option to buy, which means he's gone. Right, Marseille. Is that going to be another one that we're going to look at and regret and say, look?
Hold on a minute.
What's wrong?
Just looking for a crystal ball. Just looking at it. I don't know, do I?
I don't know, man. We get a lot wrong. That's why, you know what I mean? The odd one wrong, you think, okay, it happens.
Listen,
but we're getting a lot wrong. I mean, you know what? We're not Chelsea where they can get De Bruyne, Salah and things like that wrong, but it's all right because they still got Hazard and these sort of players. We're not that team. We need to get things right.
Yeah, I know that. But what do you want me to say? I'm not in control of things there. You seem to think I am.
Do you think this is right, Guendouzi? Do you think we should have persisted?
I think it was the right decision.
Do you think we should have persisted with, sitting down with him and saying, yeah, let's get your attitude right. We're going to give you a season.
The club tried.
No, we're going to give you a season.
No, apparently the club tried and he had to apologise. He had to apologise for his actions.
We're going to
be a man and apologise.
How do you know he didn't?
Because it's very evident. Even Lacazette and Aubameyang were trying to persuade him.
Don't we sit the guy down and say, yo, you know what? All right, clean slate. We're going to give you this season. Now you go out there and show us what you can do, right? If you can't show us what you can do, that's it.
But Robbie, at the end of the day, this principle of the matter, you've got to apologise. I've done certain things, on here.
You ain't apologised for.
And I've apologised.
Some.
No, only the ones that I've had to. Where I know.
So that's probably how he's thinking.
No, because...
He's probably thinking like that as well.
No, because the ones like where I know I've genuinely done wrong, he's done wrong. So you apologise. Like, you apologise for getting rid of me as manager because you realised that was a huge mistake.
Who apologised for that?
You.
I never apologised for that.
That's a huge mistake.
I said, good luck to you, mate.
Yeah, now you're there, you're like, why did I get rid of it?
It's not a mistake. You know what I mean? You go and do your thing.
Pep Ditiola. Do you know what I mean? It's
like Ditiola. You know what I mean? But sometimes you sit down with a person and you say, like what I've done with you before, and you say clean slate. And you say, right, but now this is it now. No more messing around. This is the direction we're going in. And if you if you mess up again, see you later.
Now do you want to say how you say it?
It doesn't feel like in the case of Guendouzi, it doesn't feel like that's happened. He's gone out. He's not come back. It's not like they've said to him, right, we're going to give you a run. We'll get to January, man, and let's see if your attitude really has changed.
He was at the club a very long time after that incident with Brighton and
didn't play.
He didn't apologise.
Didn't get a game.
He had his opportunity.
But I'm saying since that he's gone out on loan.
And he still ain't apologised.
It's apologies, man. And you don't even know if that's factually true or whatever. You don't know.
Yeah, none of us know what goes on behind
for all you know,
closed
he could have done. But all I know is that I'm looking at it, I'm saying, sometimes you just give a person a second chance. But he's had no second chance, really, has he? He's just been like, no.
You've got to remember, throughout his career, he's had a second chance, a third chance, a fourth chance, a fifth chance. He's done it all the time.
I'm hoping that this one ain't going to blow up in our face again, man.
Well, we're going to find out, aren't we?
I hope it's not going to blow up in our face. And obviously transfers season now. I mean, the Euros about to finish, Copa America about to finish. We should start seeing signings coming out. I am a little worried at Arsenal at the moment in that, all right, we know Nuno Tavares, Albert Sambi Lokonga coming in. Our pre-season starts in next week, right? Hibernian. Then we've got Rangers next weekend. Then we've got the tour in America. Where's the players in place? Where's the players in place for, Mikel Arteta complained about not having a great pre-season with some of the players last season, which we know is very COVID affecting and that. But where's the new signings, especially the big marquee signings? Where are those in place so that they can have a proper season? Not like Thomas Partey, where he just came in on the last day.
They won't be.
Where are those guys?
They won't be. Mikel said at the end of last season that he doesn't expect any business to be done whilst the Euros and Copa America and that are on. And I think that's out of his hands.
Why? Yeah, because not every player that we've been linked to is playing in a Copa America or playing at Euros, or the Euros is over for them. So what's going on?
I don't know.
Right, I think we, more than any other team, really need to get a couple of those signings in early, get them assimilated into the team. Because we've got huge games at the start of the season.
I agree.
And I'm surprised that, as I said, the pre-season starts next week. Don't worry.
Not ruining my summer.
Yeah, I know you're not ruining your summer, but you're gonna ruin your winter. You know what I mean? Right? I'm just saying that I'm a bit worried that at least one, and I'm not on about the fringe signings. I'm about not one of those big signings have come in. Especially the area of biggest concern for me at the moment. The two areas of biggest concern for me at the moment is defensive midfielder, because Xhaka's going, and also that creative midfielder because Odegaard's gone. And it worries me that we've brought no one in yet.
No.
Get them in early, get them training with the team, get them to have a good pre-season. We see with the England team the importance of togetherness. One of the reasons why that team has been so good is that they're so together. They're not like a country team. They're like a club team. They're at St George's Park. They're all together. They're working together. I'm just a bit worried about. A few little things are worrying me.
Things have been worrying me for a long time with this club, Robbie. That's why I kind of let a lot of it go over my head now. Honestly, that's how I feel at the moment. I just feel so disinterested with Arsenal because I'm just like, you'll ruin my mood, you'll ruin my month, you ruin my year, you ruin my life. So I'm just trying to just focus on positives in life because I'm just not really bothered at the moment. When the season starts is when I really start to...
Yeah, but
I get that. But I know what you're saying.
Worried.
I know what you're saying. But me, I'm looking at it and I'm like, yeah, I'm starting to get a little concerned here because things are not being done how they should, or players are not coming in. But I'm just not gonna focus all my energy on it. I'm like, leave it. Let's see what they do. Still got plenty of time yet. I'm not too worried.
Plenty of time, but as I said, it's getting those players. I just look on it and say that very important players, they need to be in early because we need those players to have a very good pre-season. I mean, listen, they could still, over the next couple of weeks, sign players, but, the season starts mid-August. Right? It's just about 5 weeks away till the start of the season.
Ain't far at all, is it?
No.
Ain't far at all. I wouldn't really take too much about the games in Scotland. I think that's going to be the ones where you get fringe players anyway, and some of the youngsters get opportunities, and I think even people like Kolasinac are going to end up playing. Great.
Oh, he's still here as well.
Yeah, this just made you feel so much better, innit? But I think that's kind of what those are for. I think maybe we want to get a few players through the door before we go over to America, because it's a good opportunity to build a bond with other players and stuff like that, going abroad. And you know, playing out there, good weather. Like, yeah. If we get to, I know we got to do some 2 games. I know it's for a charity. It's
mine charity games
yeah.
with Tottenham and Chelsea.
Chelsea.
Yeah.
If we get to those games and we haven't got like top targets in, big players that we're looking at, then I think then you can start to go, right, something's not right. I'm really
I mean, I get it. I get, like, you know, like the Ben White one, I get that that's not done yet because the Euros are still on and things like that. And even if we sign him, he's going to need a couple of weeks holiday before he even comes into, but that's different. He'd be Premier League ready and stuff like that. But some of the other ones that I'm looking at, say for instance, if we go for a Hossein Mawar, you know, get it done. Move quick, get it done, get him in, and get him into the team, get him assimilated, get him ready for the new season. You know, those sort of ones are the ones that I'm looking at, and I'm like, you know, they're not mega money, those signings. Get them done and get them in. You know, but it just seems, I don't know, it just seems that we're differing a bit with that.
Yeah.
And we need to get those deals done.
We always differ. By
the way, on that Ben White thing, I was at the England game. There's a Brighton fan in front of me, and he was singing his praises. He's like, Robbie, brilliant player, great bringing the ball out from the back, can play centre back, right back, and defensive midfield. Right. So he was saying that, you know, 50 million probably overpriced, but he's a great player. So I was like, oh, that's great. However, I was saying to the guy, I was going, that's all great, but it's not a priority for me in my books. But I think he's sort of like what they've been saying is that, you know, he's obviously looking for a guy that's going to be able to bring the ball out and play and stuff like that. Now that we've lost David Luiz. But but I just, business needs to be done, man.
I get it. I get where you're concerned.
Who would be your ideal signing? Which sort of player have you looked at there and thought, you know what, Arsenal, get him in, realistic signing, get him in, and I think that could be a game changer for us.
I think we can bring in Aouar and Maddison, because people kind of get lost in thinking that Aouar's actually a number 10 when he's not. So I actually think that we could bring in both of them. Then you could be a bit excited.
I agree. I'd go for Maddison.
And Basuma.
I'm not. Yeah, Maddison and Basuma for me. If we blew our budget on those two, with the couple of youngsters that we're bringing in, I'd be happy. If we weren't able to get no one else, and it was just those twos plus the Tavares and the Sambi Lokonga, I'd be like, okay, cool. Basuma, because I think we need that holding player, and he's Premier League ready, hit the ground running, and also Maddison, same sort of thing. And Maddison brings so much quality to this Arsenal team. But it's expensive. It's difficult to do. Are we gonna really try and make a move for that? Because that's the type of player we should be trying to buy if we're serious about getting back to where we want to be.
Ain't gonna happen, Robbie, is it?
You don't think so?
No. Not. Where have you seen any kind of suggestion that could happen?
There's that guy on Twitter, AFC Bell. He's got a couple of things right. He said that we're big in for him. He got the Partey one right.
Yeah, I know that. He gets it wrong. It'll be Bell End.
Well, no, actually, no, because he what he's done, he's put it out there and he said that we are very, very interested in him. He hasn't said we're going to sign him.
Listen,
but
he said
the interest is real. No, he said the interest is real.
No, I'm saying I'm interested in a lot of things. Don't mean I'm going to do it, isn't it?
He got the Thomas Partey one right when a lot of man was saying, you know, when he put that one out there, little man was chatting shit.
Yeah, I'll get that one. That was a big one. That kind of like put him into tier 1 at that point.
He's a tier 1 guy,
do you know
man.
What I mean?
He's
so,
called out the Maddison one.
We'll see.
Out of the blue, nobody was talking about it. That would be a great signing.
Yeah, it would be. It would be a great signing. We might even have a free kick taken in.
You know what I mean? A set piece taker. So.
Yeah. So, and then, and just can't see it.
No?
Look, at the end of the day, Leicester are in a better position than us right now. Leicester in no need to sell. Leicester are notoriously stubborn when it comes to, you know, ringing out the last pound.
They do sell though. They do sell. They sold Harry Maguire. They sold Mahrez.
But they wrung every last penny out of them. So if you want James Maddison,
You've got £250 million to spend.
Listen, if you want James Maddison, you need to be coughing up around about £80 million, which is what they will want for him.
I reckon you could get him for maybe... I don't know. I think it'd be less than that. I think Jadon Sancho's 70 million, wasn't it?
Give or take, yeah.
I think 60 or 65 million. I think you put 60 million on the table, they're tempted. Very tempted.
Can't see it.
I'm just saying, though, to me, just going back to the... I know I go on about it every week, but I keep going back and saying the outlay that we're making for Ben White, wouldn't we be better off going for...
You're stressing my summer out. Seriously, Robbie, I can't handle you, man. I can't handle you. You're stressing my summer out.
Yeah, I mean, priorities, man. Priorities.
I get what you say. Look, at the end of the day, if we sign Ben White and then we went and got a Maddison and a Basuma, then you don't mind them spending £50 million on a centre-back. But if you only go and spend that money on a centre-back, but you don't go and get the creative areas and the, that midfield area and everything else, then it is kind of like, here we go again. Deja vu. Square pegs, round holes, buy this, buy that, but not what we actually need.
Well, we'll see. I want to ask you guys out there today, right? Do we have a lesson to learn by when we see what Southgate's done at England, the patience has been shown in him? Do we need to show that same patience towards Mikel Arteta, trust in him a bit more and believe in him and leave him to do what he can do and see where it takes us? What do you think?
You know what?
Yes or no? Trust in him?
Yeah, of course. You know that. Why are you looking at me
so
like that?
You're going to give him this season?
Well, no, because if it's going wrong, you don't give him a season. Yeah, but I'm saying give him a season.
You said trust in him.
Yeah.
So what's your trust entail?
We've got to start the season and hit the ground running.
That's a lot of trust, isn't it? So if he lost a couple of games to start off with,
because it's fact. Because we cannot have another season the way that we did last year. You can trust someone, but there's a point where you go...
Yes, so I'm asking you. So, what's your trust? What will he have to do to keep his job this season?
Get us competing.
For what?
Top 4. I'm not going to be winning a league or challenging for it within a season.
So top 4, 4th, 5th finish, he's all right. Anything lower than that, out.
Champions League.
Anything outside the Champions League?
Anything outside the Champions League, not good enough.
With the team that we've got?
Yeah. We've got no Europe or nothing. There's no excuses.
Okay. All right. Well, you heard it from DT. And I want to see your limits as well. What's he got to do to keep his job? If you're setting him a target, maybe that's a better way to say it. If you're setting him a target, a realistic target based on the personnel he has and the personnel that everybody else has, what is that realistic target? Let us know in the comments. We'd really love to hear from you. Do we have a lesson to learn from the patience that's been shown in Gareth Southgate? Was it a mistake to sell Emi Martinez? Want to hear from you, all those things. Don't forget, you can download this podcast on all the usual formats. Subscribe here to AFTV and like this video. And we'll be back next week with another All Guns Blazing podcast. And hopefully, we'll be talking about how England won the Euros. No?
Don't do it, Robbie, man. Don't.
I said hopefully.
Yeah, I can just already...
It's coming home!
I can already picture next week's episode, man. Hi, and welcome along to the All Guns Blazing podcast, and it's not come home.
You're a miserable git, you?
I'm just preempting
Bloody hell,
you.
man. You know what I mean? Let's cut. He's miserable. Miserable guy. You know what I mean? No enthusiasm, no... Oh, I know why. Because you wanted Denmark to win anyway, because you wanted a PS5. That's why you're all depressed.
No, I don't care. I've got a PS5.
Now I know why. He actually secretly, disgracefully wanted Denmark to win, just so that you could get a PS5.
I've got a PS5.
But it's all right.
Why do I care about it? I only wanted to win that so I could rub it in your face.
Yeah, you haven't got a PS5. You said you had a PS4. You said you needed a PS5.
I've got a PS5.
Listen,
you know there's a link.
I know why he's miserable.
Now do you know there's a link?
Now I know why he's miserable, yeah? Right? Because he wanted Denmark to win.
No, I'm miserable because I have to put up with him for an hour a week.
Home.